again, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, Thrift Nice. If you are new here, this is a channel all about reselling online. I find things at yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, estate sales, all that kind of stuff, and I flip it online for a profit. So the vast majority of my videos are taking you along with me to these yard sales and garage sales so you can see me picking things up to flip in real time. However, since we're in the dead of winter and there are not many yard sales to speak of where I am located as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and weave in a few more sales update videos each and every week so you guys can see exactly what is selling for me online right now. All right, today we're going to go over 10 very recent sales, and they're all going to be on the eBay platform. I sell personally on eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, and Mercari, but today I'm just going to kind of hone in a little bit on eBay and show you a few good sales that have happened for me very recently so you can see what kind of things are moving for me. Number one, this was a great pickup. So this actually ended up being the only yard sale that I found on this particular day. It was into kind of like November time, and so everything's sort of shutting down, and it was raining, which never helps. I am so glad that I bothered to hop out of the car for this one lonely yard sale because I found two items, both of which I sold for about $100 to $150 a piece. This one right here, I spent $5 on. It was new and it was sealed. Technically vintage dead stock. I'm not sure how to pronounce the brand. You can probably see it up here spelled AIWA. And it was a micro cassette recorder. Like I said, new and sealed in its original packaging. Paid $5 at this yard sale for it. And it sold on eBay in less than a month for $149.99 plus the shipping. Okay, next sale was a very standard one for me. A good old reliable, the vintage ugly Christmas sweater. So I don't pick up all of these, but if they are sort of stand out in any way, then I usually will. And I thought this one was ever so cool. And the whole thing was hand knit, and it had all kinds of embellishments like bells and ribbons and all kinds of stuff on it. Just had a really kind of like old world, like primitive cottagecore kind of feel to it. I spent $1 on this at a yard sale, and it flipped online for $44.99 plus the shipping again as well. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for those fun vintage Christmas sweaters. All right, next one. I picked this up last summer at a yard sale. I actually picked up a couple of items, both by Department 56, which can be a really, really good brand. And if you find an item that is in demand, like this one was, and is also retired, like this one was, you can do pretty darn well with it. So I ended up spending $40 on the two items, so $20 a piece, I guess is what it worked out at. The other one is still listed and has not sold yet, but this one was a witch-themed cake stand. It was part of a very specific line. You should be able to see some of the information right there if you pause the video and look at the exact title. It just had like little witch feet, basically, and it was just a cake stand, Halloween theme, but it was Department 56, like I said, and this one sold for $150.99 plus shipping as well. And like so often they do, this sold after Halloween. Go figure. All right, next was a brand that is new to me because I didn't grow up in the States, if you can tell by my accent, but apparently it was very, very popular in the 90s. So a bit of a throwback here. The brand was IOU. Again, I'm told this was a really popular 90s brand. This had all those kind of vibes going on. It had this kind of pinstripe look, this sort of high mock turtleneck collar to it, and I spent 50 cents on this, and I picked it up based on style alone because, like I said, it really just kind of screamed 90s to me. So 50 cents into this, and it sold for $44.99. So this may be a little bit of like a vintage clothing bolo. All right, next is a plush. I wanted to feature this because plush is something that you can find almost anywhere, whether you're hitting up yard sales, garage sales, whether you're checking out thrift stores, there's almost always a plush section, and I almost always go through them. I featured some sales videos before if you're interested in checking them out, where I talk about some of the higher end plush that I've been able to flip, items that have gone for over $100, just little stuffed animals. So if you're interested in learning a bit more about what kind of plush actually sells up in that range, do make sure you check that video out. Oh, and I'll link it down below in the description as well. This is a great brand though, Jellycat. Not all pieces are made equally. Some of them will flip for really good money. Some of them are a little bit more dime a dozen, but overall, if you can find it for like a buck or two, I almost always pick it up. This particular piece was 50 cents at a yard sale, and it sold for $24.99 plus shipping as well. Okay, next item was definitely a heavier one. I had actually hoped to get a little bit more money for this, I have to say, but because it was so big and bulky, I was quite happy to get it out of my inventory. It definitely took up some space in storage. So this was from a yard sale as well, and I paid $3 for the set of 3 bowls, and the brand was Longaberger. That is a fantastic brand, mostly known for like their baskets, but if you can find some of the longer burger pottery like this, that can also do really, really well. So $3 for this entire set of mixing bowls, and they sold for $65 plus shipping. And let me tell you, the shipping was not cheap because these items were oversized and they were very, very heavy. Not a bad flip overall though. Next is another plush that I want to show you. This was from the Moomins. I think Snuffkin was his name. I know I grew up watching the Moomins, but I'm not super familiar with them. Having said that, because they're not super well known, they can be quite collectible. And you don't see a lot of items from this particular animation. Picked him up for $1 at a yard sale because I knew exactly what he was when I spotted him, and he sold for $50 plus shipping as well. And I've sold multiple pieces. They all are quite distinct. Just make sure when you're picking up plush that you are looking closely at those tags. Again, you don't necessarily have to be familiar with all the cartoon series to tell that something is either really well made, like this particular plush was, or it's just a little bit more exotic and worth taking a chance on and doing just a little bit of research just in case it's rare. Okay, next, a good old VHS sale. So I don't do a lot of VHS, but if I can buy a full set, sometimes I will take the chance. And this was The Muppet Show on VHS. 6 out of the 8 VHSs were actually still sealed, I believe. Anyway, because some of them were new and sealed, because it was like a full set, a collection or whatever, I went ahead and took a chance. They were 25 cents a piece, so I had $2 into this whole collection right here. They sold in under a week for $29.99, and I did go ahead and send them media mail, since they are a form of media, being VHS tapes. Buyer did pay for the shipping though. Luckily, media mail is pretty darn reasonable. Okay, next, I had no idea what this was when I found it, but I figured it was unique enough that I would take a chance. So again, from a yard sale, I found this tucked at the back of a clothing rack. Essentially, it was a child's outfit, and it was a really cool kind of like, again, that kind of cottagecore, like, I don't know, Little House on the Prairie, floral with ruffles and all that kind of stuff from the 90s kids romper. And then there was a miniature version right next to it so that you could kind of like dress up with your doll. And then the label inside was actually branded. So the brand was My Twin, TWINN. Again, this is not something that I'm familiar with. We didn't have that back in England when I was growing up in the 90s, but I did go ahead and just kind of take a chance since I've never come across any of that before. Paid $5 for the set, and it sold for $40. And hopefully a kiddo somewhere is very happy. Okay, and the last item is a good old-fashioned vintage camera. I love selling these things. And I always sell them untested. Just to let you know, you don't have to necessarily be into electronics and knowing exactly how to test each and every item, as long as you are very, very clear in your listing that is untested, it is sold as is, and it's for parts or not working. As far as you know, because you've untested it, you can absolutely still sell those items online and make a really good profit, just like this. So this was the Pentax camera body, and it had like a lens or two with it, and it also had a case and some of the inserts, just a few bits and pieces really. I paid $10 at a yard sale for the whole thing, and I did look it up real quick while I was there. You can just look up like the brand name, and there's always a model number on the camera body as well. Just make sure when you do that that you are looking at soles that are untested, if that's how you plan to flip it, and that you make sure that there isn't any accessories that you're looking at in your soles that you don't have with yours, such as lenses and things like that, that would actually make a real difference to the value. So like I said, I spent $10 on this camera, and it sold in under a month for $99.99 plus shipping. All right, you guys, that is everything that I have to show you in today's sales update video. Let me know down below if you're enjoying these kind of videos and you like seeing some of the things that have sold for me recently. I know I watch them from other resellers as well because I find them very inspiring, and they help me know exactly what to look out for when I'm on the hunt come yard sale season again. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!